أنتم تستمعون إلى أثير صوت السلام. صوت السلام، صوت لكل الناس، لكل الناس، لكل الناس.
Hi Nadia.
Hi.
Good to see you again.
Me too.
What's new in Palestine? I think that we forgot about you Palestinians. We have elections. We have fight with I don't know whom in the north with the Iranians, Hezbollah. I don't know whom. So please go to sleep with your occupation, and we will talk to you later. What's new in Palestine?
Actually, it's the same thing. We're occupied with your elections campaign, and we're in the same heat. Like you got like the Arabs are working on it in the same way, and
Arabs you mean in Israel?
yes. Well, it's like at the end, the you know what? Like the differences are really becoming less and less each time. Even though we have all those blockades between people and borders and everything, but like what's happening in the elections might be so close to what would shape what will happen to us. So it's, in many ways it became an Arab Palestinian Israeli issue from one side, and then you look on the border and then you see that also what's going on the border is becoming an issue. It's not just like, you wouldn't say that whatever is happening on the borders in Iraq, between Iraq and Syria, is only just their issue anymore. Everything is becoming connected in a way,
It's issue
in the
to
mess.
you. It's there is even the Jordanian pilot. So in a way, Daesh is a risk to you too.
To everyone, to
So
you too.
maybe
What
Israel-
happened in France
Maybe
was...
Israel should protect you, and you should be better under occupation. Israel will protect you. Israel has a strong and large army.
Yeah, the fact that
you are protected.
Daesh seems to be a good, let's say, I don't want to say a good ally. We don't know yet what's of this group, but definitely Daesh is not interested in Israel. And so yes, Israel may be a protection. But there were the Yazidis too. I read something some days ago.
What about them?
Asking Israel to help them.
To hurt them or to protect them?
To help.
To help
protect.
them. I see.
You read it?
No, but we are going to help only to the Palestinians. We are going to help only to the Palestinians because...
This is part of your elections campaign?
No, because, we are responsible to the Palestinians. By the way, I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I don't know if Israel is going to help the Yazidis. How can Israel help them? But I'm serious about the Palestinians.
But again, there is something that's happening, that's shaping itself around us all, and the enemy is taking a different form.
So this is the best way to solve an ancient conflict. Now Palestinians and Israel
Against Daesh?
Yes, they have the same enemy. They have the same enemy, and we can be united under like nations are united, and the rich people and the poor people work together to defeat the enemy. So now the privileged and the underprivileged, the occupiers and the occupied, will fight together against the common enemy.
But this is not when you're having a government like yours.
Why not?
Especially with someone like Netanyahu, who's taking every opportunity to make use of every single mess that is
I'm not
okay.
sure now he's very busy with his battles and...
But actually he's trying to win his battles through this. Like look with what happened with the Charlie Hebdo thing. With the whole provocation of what happened on the border with Lebanon last week. You don't see, like, it's like someone is on purpose trying to attract trouble for some different... I would say it's a personal reason that has definitely to do with his opportunities of staying in power.
So what about the Charlie Hebdo? Did bookstores in Palestine send the the new edition, the international edition of Charlie Hebdo?
It was you doing this, not us.
Yeah, but why not in Palestine too?
The whole thing about Charlie Hebdo doesn't really attract my attention much. I think there is a price for feeding terror, and this was one of them. It happened.
What do you mean? What do you mean price?
The whole thing.
Who feeded the terror?
No, the whole international world is the international power is feeding terror and feeding it in Al-Qaeda and Daesh in the Middle East. So this is nothing but a normal consequence of this wave of feeding terror.
But what is the answer to my question? Should Palestinians sell and read and buy the Charlie Hebdo?
First of all, the Charlie Hebdo is not the best choice of a reading in caricature.
Of course, but it's
it wouldn't attract my attention in a normal way.
But of course, but it's for solidarity. It's not solidarity of people who were murdered only because they are journalists and they have done what they have done. They have said what they've said.
It's like you got our president to do this on behalf of the world. I don't have this solidarity as a person. I've seen murders for Palestinians in the last years, like for Palestinian journalists, and we don't have such a solidarity. So yes, it is sad to see people getting killed for any reason. And when you see people getting killed for saying their opinions or expressing whatever it is, I think it's brutal. But then we just witnessed the murder of almost 17 Palestinians, if not more or less, journalists in Gaza in 1 month. And that was more of brutal killing than the people in Charlie Hebdo, even though we saw a scene like in the Hebdo killing. But the murders of people for what they believe in or for any reason that concerns humanity, I think is definitely brutal. But I wouldn't say that the Charlie Hebdo wasn't a cause. Their murder was a result of it's a continuation of what is bred in terror in the world. I don't know how much was it a coincidence, how much was it intentional, how much is it really related to the cartoons of Muhammad. I still have my own little theory that the coincidence between them putting the Daesh man some weeks before is more of a connection to such a killing rather than Muhammad's cartoons 4 years ago. And I don't see any difference between Qaeda in Libya or in Yemen or I don't know where and
so
Daesh.
You don't have solidarity with Charlie Hebdo, but if a bookseller in Palestine wants to spread the newspaper or the magazine Charlie Hebdo, should it do?
No, I'd rather make solidarity to buy a book that supports rebuilding Gaza.
Okay, I understood that. But if one wants to sell, is that okay, or he shouldn't do that?
No, I wouldn't support it. It doesn't bother me as a person who consider myself open-minded to things. I do understand the disturbance of emotions that the cartoons did. If I was in a place where I can convince people, I wouldn't even bother, because at the end it's a cartoon. Nobody knows how Muhammad looks like actually, so why would I even bother? It really doesn't bother me as a Muslim on a personal level, but I do understand that people have this emotional thing that disturbs them when it comes to this.
So you think that it should be forbidden?
I don't think it should be. It's not about being forbidden or not. I don't think it should be given this importance. I don't see it important enough. If you have a copy of it, or somebody decides to put it or to have it or to own it or to sell it, I wouldn't bother to sell it or to buy it. and I don't think it is important to enough. It's given more than it should from an importance, and definitely I don't want to promote it if it promotes hatred or more of like this whole rising of emotions, of negative emotions. We don't need it. We don't need more hatred because of a religion. It's already there.
I see. And how do you see Palestine, the elections in Israel? Do you have a lot of coverage about that?
I enjoy my personal coverage on it. I admit that I enjoy like following up on it. And
why?
It's some envious feelings, I also admit. First of all, the whole process of is interesting. The competition, the challenge that is going on. I think it's really a good reflection of how one can express the term democracy in this sense. So it's something that I'm enjoying to watch with some envious feelings, especially that we're marking a decade of Mahmoud Abbas,
right,
with no signs of elections. And we only have those poor people from the election commission saying that we're ready for elections whenever you want. So we have a central elections committee that is ready, and no elections is in any place or in any horizon. So it's sad.
Why?
Why? Because of the stupidity and the weakness of the leadership on the Palestinian side. We have a real gap inside the Palestinian politics that is just increasing. It's a total chaos.
But how can you do elections? You are divided. I'm not sure that Fatah people can go to Gaza in a secure way, and the opposite.
Yeah, why not? Why not just to try the elections? Just announce election and announce it.
So you think it's possible?
Call for election. Of course, it's possible, but
and
it
the
needs
Palestinian
people.
leaders don't want it because of what?
Yes, they don't want it because they want to guarantee winning. Each side wants to guarantee that it's the sole winner of the election.
And that's why they don't go for elections, because both of them are afraid from the results.
Of course. Do you have any other reason for that?
I don't know. I think it's pretty comfortable for President Abu Mazen.
Yeah.
And I'm not that sure that Hamas, they ran in the previous elections. I'm not that sure that they know exactly what they want, and that they want to be part of the leadership of the state of Palestine. And that's why they cannot take a decision.
Yeah, that's. I think we're agreeing on the same point, that you have the two main parties that are pretty comfortable with the current situation and doesn't suit them to change, because.
Two main, you mean Fatah and Hamas?
Yes.
Yeah.
And now even when you see what's going on with Fatah now, with the dispute inside Fatah, which is becoming also another joke.
So who should be the president?
Me.
Okay.
Well, we need a woman who takes charge.
So why don't you run for presidentship?
I need to run for becoming a citizen first. I need to understand who I am first. It's a long way.
Citizen of Palestine? No, you have
of anything,
you do have the right to vote in Palestine.
Yes, I
You
have.
voted last time.
Yes. Even though it was an emotional vote, but yes, I voted.
Was what? Emotional?
Yes, I didn't really vote.
So you should not. You will.
I didn't stamp I didn't do this thing.
Why?
Actually, I went to the election. There was this like the polls in certain places, and I wasn't able to reach it. It was in the Dahi, and the Israelis were really making it impossible in a way. And usually I hate to have to go through checkpoints. for any reason, including elections.
But you did.
I didn't.
You did vote?
No, I didn't.
You didn't vote?
No, I never really voted, but my voice went to Hamas. If I voted, my voice was going to go to Hamas.
But you did not vote?
But I did not, no.
And this time, will you vote?
I don't think so. This time is worse because I really don't know who is the right person. But like, let's hope that this time will happen first, because I don't see it coming.
Why do you need it to happen if you don't go to vote?
Well, it's like exactly like the dream of elections. I dream to vote, as much as there's a dream that an elections take place. So until it happens, we'll see.
And if you do, what are you going to vote?
I don't know. It depends who's going to run. If it's Khaled Mish'al, I will vote. That is real.
Of course, I know.
For president, yes, I will vote for Khaled Mish'al. I don't think he will, but...
But even if Iran, no, Israel will not let him in.
They will then.
You think so?
Well, Arafat came in, so...
Yeah, but this was when there was an agreement between Israel and the Palestinians, and this was all about that he was considered as the leader of the Palestinian people. And here, I don't think that Marshall wants an agreement with Israel.
You never know. But actually, it's like even this, like with all what's going on, there are things that I seem to be really far away in these days.
What do you mean?
Like, maybe a few months ago, we would have discussed a possible Palestinian leader. With all what happened with, I don't know if it has to do with the Israeli elections, like with this kind of heat or not, that things are kind of stabilized now or like frozen. But there is this state of frustration, I would say, that it's not an issue anymore, especially with what's going on around us, like what's going on in Egypt, in Syria. What happened in Paris was kind of like, where are we heading? You feel like there is some stronger wave of something that is taking place, that the conflict here is not the issue. Like, why would I care if there's a Palestinian president or not? When I don't even know if people are getting paid next month or this month or the previous month. There are things that are becoming like it's again this gap between the reality on the ground and our aspirations, even the simple aspirations in something like elections. Things are fading away in a way, which is it's not good.
No, it's even bad.
Yeah, it's worse.
What about the conflict between Israel and, I don't know, with whom was the conflict in the north?
Now tell me that Israel didn't start.
No, I will not tell you.
So who started this? Because usually we have short memory on who started what.
No, I don't think that there is a question here. I don't justify the assassination. And I don't justify the Hezbollah revenge.
Well, and I think the revenge was pretty justifiable, and
yeah, because you think in different way, but you know, you think like Israel is, because if so maybe it is justified to you know, this Iranian guy and Murnia did not come to the Syrian Golan for a picnic. They came there to make a military operation.
Against Israel. That's
against
what
Israel.
Did. Who said so?
So you think against whom? Against Daesh?
Can't you see that the Arabs are already killing one another? They have enough enemies, actually. Like, Israel is not the only enemy over there.
You're right, but the Iranians were not involved up to now in the
Of course they are.
In Syria.
Of course they are.
They are where they are. They help, you know, Assad in Damascus, but
so
not
they are.
But not in other places.
Of course they are. They're major, actually.
So you think that they came to the Syrian Golan in order to kill Daesh?
I don't care why were they there. At the end, they were in their own borders, inside their own borders.
Right. I say that I don't justify that.
We cannot. It's exactly like when you have a Palestinian who kills Israelis and he's dead on the spot. You never know what the real story is. And here, this is another scenario that you assume that these people, like, you go to their borders, you kill them, and you assume that they were planning to do something against you. So for me, this is unjustifiable.
Yeah, and I told you,
it's childish. It's like childish and cruel childish.
I don't think that this is childish. I do believe that.
It's like Lebanese Hezbollah is plotting against Israel all the time. So what's new? They are enemies. There is.
Why?
This is an enemy.
We withdrew from Lebanon.
Border.
We withdrew from Lebanon, and we don't have violent confrontations between Hezbollah and Israel.
You didn't withdraw from the Golan.
Yeah, but Golan is not Lebanon.
But between
Syria.
But between like Golan
so now Hezbollah are protecting Syria.
Syria and Lebanon. It's like it's again you're interfering in another like countries, like 2 different countries or 3 different countries' sovereignties that you have no reason to interfere into what they're. Maybe they want to dinner together. Maybe they were planning to go to dinner.
Let's say that different. We do have reason, unjustified, but to say that we don't have reason, I mean.
There is always reasons if we want to look for reasons.
Right.
But you cannot put the assumption that this is what was going on. At the end, these people, it was a car driving in a certain direction inside a border that is not yours, and you decide to kill them. So this is not just like so it wasn't just like a murder. It was also a violation of other countries' sovereignties. There was many things interfere into this. Actually, Israel is the one that.
It's not other countries. It's other country.
Okay, but when you kill people from 3 different countries, you interfered with other 3 countries actually.
Okay, I think you interfere the state that you made assassination.
Especially that they said later that they knew that the Iranian guy was with them. Like Israel confessed that they knew that the Iranian was
because his cell phone was open.
So it wasn't just like a random.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. This is why they made this assassination, because of the Iranian guy.
So this is interference in another country's affairs. Like, is it a call for war with Iran?
No. I think it's. I don't know if it's a call for war, but it's not interfering in the business of Iran. It's interfering in the business of Syria. Syria is the state.
But why do you need to do that?
Because
you already, like you as a country, Israel, is already occupying illegally by international law that border of Syria from one side. And then you decide to go kill another person who comes from another country that is your enemy country.
It's not me, But,
I mean the government, not you.
But the question is, I believe that they thought that these people are planning something.
But of course you believe that, you occupied their countries. Israel is always like waging threats against Iran. So Israel always believes that there is a war or a threat that's coming from that side. Even though any common sense says today that these people are way too occupied with other things. I wish they were occupied with Israel. They're not. They're just occupied with killing one another.
You think so?
Yes, that's what's happening. You don't watch news on that border, on that side?
No, I mean, yes, the people are, yes, but I don't think that in this case this was the reason why they came. I don't think so. Again, I don't justify killing people, and I just don't justify the operation, the Israeli operation. But I don't think that they came there to think how to kill Daesh people. I think that they came to think about attacking Israel. This is my interpretation.
Why? Like if they wanted to attack Israel, they would have attacked Israel during the invasion on Gaza. Like there was going to be a reason why you can use aggression against Israel in this case in order to help Gazans, for instance.
Yeah, but
why would they need to do it here now?
You know, it's I don't know what. First, there were attacks on Israel during Gaza. Second, probably these guys will go on with their attacks, be the reason, whatever, what is called occupation or whatever is the reason, they will go on doing that. And when they attack next time, you cannot really say, okay, why didn't you do that a year ago?
Okay, my little, again, theories about these issues has another direction. I think this was a whole, like, intelligence, Mossad, whatever, operation from one side. You have these people on the list of the wanted for assassination by Israel. They happen to be informed about their locations, and they didn't want to miss the chance of assassinating them. That as a part of something that has to do with the Israeli intelligence plan. And the fact that they decided to do it regardless to the situation, to what's going on, to any like calculation, I would say that was arrogant. I wouldn't say it was stupid. It was more of this kind of arrogance in the middle of a real conflicting situation all over the place. So you just like going and raiding is like, that was kind of like, it's really crazy. It is a call for war. So you
think now the Iranians will attack?
No, I don't. That's the point. The fact that Hezbollah or Iran or whoever, the people, Hezbollah, responded in the very same way, says that they don't want to do anything more. Because the region doesn't take it. You cannot really, I don't think Israel can wage another war.
But I think this
you cannot open borders now in that area. It's like, imagine when you open the border with like, now Israel, Hezbollah and Nusra and I don't know who, all this mess over there. This is really not a good time for both sides to wage wars against each other.
Yeah, but I do think that the revenge we have seen was revenge of the Hezbollah, and I guess that the Iranians playing something else.
No, it's together.
I remember what happened.
But Hezbollah and Iran are the same. You know, it's like there is no secret about that.
You know what is the same? They are not the same. They have close relations. They are not the same.
But I understood from what I heard from different announcements that took place that the response that took place was exactly responding to what took place, like the assassinations.
Yeah.
And it was obvious that they didn't want to respond differently. And so again, I don't think anyone is, except Netanyahu in that case, because he like just like did something took place that was, I don't think had any real serious calculations, except again arrogance. Which I'm happy that they decided not to go more, even though I don't trust the Israeli.
Why do you care? It's not Palestinians there.
Of course I care. I don't think we need more wars. We don't need more blood splitting all over. It's like each invasion, each raid of these, it means more lives are going to be wasted for nothing. I don't think we need that.
I see. So what's your, I think we're going to end in a few minutes. What is your perspective for the future? What do you think during the elections times in Israel? nothing will come out between Israel and the Palestinians, and we just say it's the same stagnation, same things on the ground with no change?
You're the one who's involved in this now. What do you see?
I think nobody cares about the Palestinians.
I do have the same feelings of that the Palestinian issue is not the case now. But I don't think it's out of not caring about it. I think in the campaigns, as much as it's, again, this is the bankruptcy of politics, of the negotiations. There is no, it's a dead end. So there is no program that anyone can put to solve the conflict, or to put even a vision for the conflict. With the negotiations collapsing and all what's going on now with the ICC thing. So I don't think anyone, it's like there's nothing to sell people in an electoral campaign. That's what Israel seems to be not able to sell anymore. Even with people like Tzipi Livni. You don't hear it.
But you see that she's selling very well. Many people want to vote for her.
She is?
Yeah.
But I don't think, I don't know. I don't know how much the public is buying this. This is something we will see when the results come out.
I think, I look at the public opinion polls. I cannot know more than that. But I think that the public buy it. Yeah, many people want to vote. She's now in the largest party, according to the polls.
And you think because she's the one who's giving a political program for the Palestinian?
No, I think that people like the fact that Herzog and Livni united their forces and go together. I think that it created, most of the times in politics, 1 + 1 is less than 2. But sometimes, and this case is a classic case for that, 1 + 1 is more than 2. People think that the fact that they cooperate, Herzog and Livni, is bringing new wave, new spirit, that they should go with that.
Yeah, I do think that it has to do also with the history of who each one of them is, like their parents.
What is the history?
The Herzog father and the Livni father, their group, their where they come from as in political parties.
Yeah, but I think both of them forgot that already.
But the public didn't. Like it was sold at the beginning.
I think the public, even if they, I don't know if they did or didn't, but they don't say, Livni is the daughter of Eitan Livni, who was in the Etzel or right wing or whatever. They say, Tzipi Livni, she's leftist. That's how the public see her. They don't see Herzog and say, wow, Herzog is the son of Chaim Herzog, who was the president from the Labour Party. Or he's the grandson of the chief rabbi of Israel. Nobody thinks like that. People say, he's a nice guy. He's a leftist.
So you still have this notion of people selling the left.
Yes, right.
Like people are going right, but they still call for left. Like when you want to attract a person... I'm not sure that
they are going right. Livni and Herzog went left. Both of them were born somewhere more right than today.
You think they're going left? They're going left in comparison with the extreme right that you are in today.
No. Even in comparison, yeah. I don't know when you say extreme right.
Like when I see Lieberman or Israel like this, like Habayit HaYehudi, or is like Lieberman's or Netanyahu, like if the Likud is a center right, so I think like imagine what's behind it.
Yeah, you're right. Those are very right-wing parties. That's for sure. But when you say that they're going to get more than Herzog and Livni, I'm not that sure that
So that's it. Like Livni and Herzog combination or unity seems to be giving this spirit of a living left that is still strong.
Yeah.
Or a Zionist. Like I wouldn't use the word Zionist because everything is supposed to be Zionist. What do you think about the Arab unity?
You know, they had to do that.
Which is not totally united.
They had to do that because of the system, because of the threshold of 3.25%. Of course, there are a lot of differences between, Hadash, which is so-called the Communist Party. It's not communist like other parties in the world, but so-called. And the Islamic Party, that I'm not sure that is Islamic like other places in the world, but of course there are differences between communists to Islamists, but they still manage to go together, which is good.
Yeah, you've got the Talab al-Sani and the Bedouins excluded.
Yeah, I don't know. He's now that upset of everybody, and I don't think that he is going to be.
I had this, I would say, extreme thought of what's going on in this.
What do you mean, extreme thought?
When I think about it, when I see Arabs inside the Israeli Knesset, and when I see people from Hadash, Muslim, Islamic movement, and all these like the Shama, they all go together. You've got an Israeli on the list of the list. I mean, like Jewish Israeli, and then I'm always stricken by the notion of Zionism or not. And then I see a group like Meretz. So, and then I ask myself, like, what is the difference? Like, what is the non-Zionist in this? Like, the fact that the Arabs fight to enter the Knesset is part of this big notion of accrediting the Zionist state.
No, I don't think that there is a Zionist state.
It is. It's like, but it's all about Zionism. Like the fact that you don't see, let's say,
of Israel.
But it's so. Why wouldn't you have, let's say, Meretz and this group go together? You will have a good union actually with these people who conform with what is called the left today.
Because why? Because two main things. People in the world. You don't have that in Palestine because it's different in Palestine. But people vote in very national way. In Germany, there is a party for Danish speakers. In Italy, there is a party to German speakers. In Spain, you have Basque and Catalan, and in UK, you have the Scottish and the Irish. So it's very clear that the Palestinian citizens of Israel will have their party. It doesn't mean that it's only Palestinians. There is a Jewish candidate, and there are, I believe, around 10,000 Jewish voters for this list. It's not only for Palestinians. And on the other hand, Meretz is the closest list to binational list. Yes, of course, you can always ask yourself in a place where the Palestinians are about 13% of the voting power, what is binational party? Should Palestinians be 13%? Should they be 50%? I don't know. It has to be something between 13 to 50. And Meretz is there. And Meretz is the only party that is there.
Well, that's why I was thinking, like, why wouldn't if you think into the in this, like the electoral agenda or program for each parties, these two sides you're the only ones who are calling for a binational existence, let's say, or binational or equality in a certain sense. And when you think of the Knesset, like, what does the Knesset do? Like, it's not just about passing laws. Like, in the last year, actually, the Knesset became more and more important into this kind of national or binational issues that are rising. So it's not just like about if you want to give this place more facilities than the others or these groups or whatever.
Of course, I fully agree with you.
So it's like, this is why wouldn't interests meet in such a way, especially if Israel is going towards this? Like,
yes.
There is something changing in even in the whole concept of what is Israel. I think it is changing in after the passing of the last also laws in the Knesset. So it will be a certain time in Israel that is definitely connected with the Palestinian-Israeli conflict that nobody talks about now. That will be the issue of Israel for some years to come. So maybe and especially when I see that there are Israelis in the list of the Arabic.
I mean Jewish Israelis.
Yes.
Yes, there is one. Yes, or a little bit more, but there is one.
But the fact that, in the top 10, you have someone who is an Israeli, it means that there is an Israeli presence, like Jewish Israeli presence in an Arabic or Arab list.
Yeah.
So the program apparently is close to what your group see, and instead of staying marginalized as groups. But apparently both sides don't want. I don't think Meretz is ready for that, and neither the Arabs.
Because, yes, I talked a lot about that with Barak and with others. The problem is that because what I described earlier of the national vote, people are afraid that, just imagine that Meretz and Jabha go together to the elections. I think that in the situation now, Jews will not vote because they want their party, and they will not vote for a party that is more than 50% Palestinian. And Palestinians will not vote because they want their party, which is now pretty Arab, supposed to be Jewish Arab, but it is now pretty Arab, and they will not want to vote for Jews. And then you lose votes from here and from there, and you are in a big situation. This is the thought, I believe, the leaders of Meretz and the leaders of the Communist Party. They think that we cannot deliver.
So at the end, parties sell notions that they really don't believe in. When it comes to votes.
Sometimes yes, but now you talk about the voters, not about the party.
Exactly, but at the end, the voters are those whom you sell your ideas.
Voters vote in a very nationalistic way, and even in Meretz, you have two Jews and then you have a Palestinian. Okay, it's easy to the Jewish voter of Meretz to vote for a Palestinian when he knows that the Palestinian is in a minority. And
exactly.
Yes.
So he wants to make sure that it stays a minority.
Yeah. But Meretz has more Palestinian voters than what Hadash has, Jewish voters. And many of them say, you can represent me better than this Palestinian member of Knesset. But of course, most of the people are not like that. Most of the people vote in a very nationalistic way.
If I was a Palestinian, I would vote for Meretz, for instance. If I had the right to vote, I will vote for Meretz, because I would think that Meretz, as an Israeli group, will fight mostly for my rights as a Palestinian.
Okay, so you are special, because most of the Palestinians, of course, are not going to do that. Meretz got last time among the Palestinians 2.6% of the votes, and more than 90% voted for so-called Arab parties, and probably they are going to do the same. I think that if you think rationally, you are absolutely right. I think that in the formation of Meretz, you can defend rights of Palestinians better than in the formation of the Arabic party. But if you think emotionally, people want to vote to people who speak the same language like them, to people that are from the same nation like them, and I can easily understand why a Palestinian want to vote for a list that he knows that more than 90% of the delegates he sends to the Knesset are Palestinians, rather to a list that that it's only 1 out of 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever Meretz is going to get. And the opposites.
Yeah. Let's hope Meretz will get good votes this year.
Yeah, maybe next time you ask for Israeli citizenship and vote for Meretz.
Well, I sincerely want Meretz in the municipality, actually.
So you could have done it. You could have done it.
I could. It's exact
to boycott.
No, I didn't actually. It's the same way I voted, with my spirit, exactly like voting for Hamas. In that sense, I'm too lazy to go. Actually, that's
not that difficult.
But I was really promoting Meretz in the municipality because I think they could have done a lot for Arabs inside the municipality.
Of course.
And
it's about time that you will have Arab representative in the municipality.
Yeah, this is actually I was writing about it, so it's a different. We will have there is no more municipal elections. It's over now.
It's.
I was promoting it last year.
In 4 years from now. It was great to talk to you, Nadia.
Yes, and, me too.
We'll go on talking about elections and conflicts
for the coming 2 months.
For the coming month and a half. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I have to go to Tel Aviv.
For Meretz in the municipality, actually.
So you could have done it. You could have done it.
I could. It's exact
to boycott.
No, I didn't actually. It's the same way I voted, with my spirit, exactly like voting for Hamas. In that sense, I'm too lazy to go. Actually, that's
not that difficult.
But I was really promoting Meretz in the municipality because I think they could have done a lot for Arabs inside the municipality.
Of course.
And
it's about time that you will have Arab representative in the municipality.
Yeah, this is actually I was writing about it, so it's a different. We will have there is no more municipal elections. It's over now.
It's.
I was promoting it last year.
In 4 years from now. It was great to talk to you, Nadia.
Yes, and, me too.
We'll go on talking about elections and conflicts
for the coming 2 months.
For the coming month and a half. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
أنتم تستمعون إلى أثير صوت السلام. صوت السلام، صوت لكل الناس.